Can you give us some more insight into the marriage laws in the UAE? What are the latest updates? Oh my God, there's so many. I guess the easiest way about marriage, let's kind of zero in on that. And just because when I say so many, it's just because in the last maybe year and a half, there were two sources of law, new laws that were introduced. One at the federal level, one that relates to civil marriages and all of its effects, meaning civil marriage, divorces, custody, inheritance, and all that related to civil marriages at the federal law, at a federal level. And then the other law is recently was updated again federal, but this is the personal status law, which is based on principles of Sharia. So both laws have recently been amended. So there's a lot. Plus, there's Abu Dhabi law as well that a lot of basically residents and non-residents, the UAE, can also avail themselves of. So there's at least three different sources of law that you can rely on for the purposes of marriage. But let's break it down. So first is now you can have a civil marriage easily. Which means that you can just, it's kind of like you go to the court basically and have your signatures witnessed and you are done. It's a very quick process, and the easiest and most efficient way of doing it for the time being is through the Abu Dhabi Judicial Department, because they're the ones who led the way in terms of civil. They were the first ones in all of the region to introduce the civil marriages. As a result, that's the most established forum right now, and it's very simple. You submit documents through the online platform, through the Abu Dhabi Judicial Department's website. You submit basically just your identification documents. They set an appointment for you. You show up to the Abu Dhabi courts and they witness your marriage. So then your marriage becomes civil marriage, and it will be subject to the laws, the Abu Dhabi laws, for example, and that will be Abu Dhabi civil marriages laws, right? So because once you're married, you have a civil marriage, but what laws would apply? So in this particular case, if you get married in Abu Dhabi, it will be the Abu Dhabi civil marriages law. You can also get married under the UAE civil marriages law. That's a federal law, not the Abu Dhabi, the federal law. And then in that case, again, it's a civil marriage. It'll be subject to the federal civil marriages law, right? Now, and then you have the various religious laws. You have obviously the Sharia law. If you were Muslim, then you would marry the usual way through, with a guardian and then the court basically. And so it's a religious Muslim marriage. And then there's different types of other religious marriages. You could do Hindu marriage and whatever other Christian marriage and such. That's always been an option. And perhaps one of the more interesting for some, the sort of nuances of marriage now is that until recently, until the Abu Dhabi civil marriages law, and then the federal civil marriages law. For Muslims, the only option for Muslims was to basically have a Muslim marriage. Now the laws do provide avenue to get married, to have a civil marriage, whoever wants. For residents, that is, apart from the UAE nationals. In other words, now, as per the latest law, is that if you, as a Muslim couple, if they want to have a civil marriage, now they can have a civil marriage, either in Abu Dhabi or under the federal law, because now the law allows for that provision.